Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're discussing the 1788 presidential, congressional, and senatorial elections held within this year. Enjoy. The 1788 United States presidential election was the first presidential election. It was held from Monday, December 15th, 1788 to Saturday, January 10th, 1789. No formal political parties existed, though an informally organized and consistent difference of opinion had already manifested between the Federalist and Anti-Federalist. Thus, the contest for vice presidency was open. To me, there were only 8 major candidates to speak about. A former Federalist minister, John Adams of Massachusetts, Federalist State Secretary John Jay of New York, former Federalist Governor John Rutledge of South Carolina, Federalist Governor John Hancock of Massachusetts, Federalist Governor Samuel Huntington of Connecticut, former Federalist War Secretary Benjamin Lincoln of Massachusetts, Independent General George Washington of Virginia, and Anti-Federalist Governor George Clinton of New York. Lincoln and Clinton have no known relation to future presidents Abraham Lincoln and Bill Clinton. Sorry, I tried. Thomas Jefferson had predicted that a Northerner would win the spot for vice presidency after George Washington would win the presidency. He stated that either John Adams or John Hancock would be the first vice presidency. Was he right? Let's take a look. The United States Senate elections of 1788 and 1789 were the first elections for the United States Senate. These elections were prior to the 17th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Senators were chosen by state legislators. There were currently 26 seats within the United States Senate, and all 3 were designated classes were up for election. 14 seats were needed for a majority. Elections to the United States House of Representatives for the first Congress were held in 1878 and 1789. In the 18th and much of the 19th century, each state set its own date for elections. In many years, elections were even held after the legal start of Congress, although typically before the first session. In the elections for the first Congress, 5 states held elections in 1788, electing a total of 29 representatives, and 6 held elections in 1789, electing a total of 30 representatives. 2 states, North Carolina and Rhode Island, did not ratify the Constitution until November 21st, 1789, and May 29th, 1790, respectively. Well, after the Congress had met for the first time and consequently elected representatives late, in 1790, leaving North Carolina unrepresented in the first session and Rhode Island in the first and second sessions of a total of 3 sessions. Time for the results of the races. First up, the congressional races. The pro-administration party, later the Federalist Party, won the majority, winning 37 seats. Some notable politicians elected this time was future Vice President and Representative of Massachusetts 3rd District Elbridge Gerry, Massachusetts 4th District Representative Theodore Sedgwick, pro-administration party leader Frederick Muhlenberg of Pennsylvania at large, and Virginia's 5th Representative and future President, as well as the anti-administration party leader James Madison. In the senatorial election, the pro-administration party wins the majority, picking up 13 seats. Some notable senators elected during this cycle include pro-administration Connecticut Senator Oliver Ellsworth, Anti-administration Delaware Senator Richard Bassett, pro-administration New Hampshire Senator John Langdon, and pro-administration New York Senator Rufus King. Of course, at this point in history, the popular vote did not matter as much since the electors from the Electoral College were decided as the final choice. They casted 2 votes, one for president and one for vice president, or whoever their second choice was for president. Everyone knew George Washington was a shoo-in for a landslide victory, a very popular general who led America throughout the Revolutionary War. Onward to the results. Benjamin Lincoln won 1 electoral vote. Samuel Clinton won 2 electoral votes. George Clinton won 3 electoral votes. John Hancock won 4 electoral votes. John Rutledge won 6 electoral votes. John Jay won 9 electoral votes. John Adams was elected the first vice president, winning 34 electoral votes, and finally George Washington was elected the first president, winning 69 electoral votes. President Washington will become the only president to win every single electoral vote offered. Some fun facts. George Washington did not want to become president. He wanted to stay retired in peace. However, many politicians urged him to run due to Americans not willing to accept anyone else but him. Alexander Hamilton, who surprisingly didn't run, was scared that John Adams would be unanimously chosen by the Electoral College similar to Washington, which would deadlock the election, which would have been an embarrassment to the new system and convinced many electors to cast their vote for someone else. It seemed to have worked since Adams won 35 votes less than George Washington. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be doing the 1789 U.S. elections next time. This is the Chaotic One saying, peace.